Dracula.
What are you?
Make no mistake, he must be stopped.
Bram Stoker's Dracula, out now.
Who is Netlaw?
Netlaw Computer Systems. Netlaw Computer Systems for simply everything in computers. System designs, troubleshooting and problem solving, individual and corporate training, program writing, software, accessories, and yes, introducing CD-ROM multimedia. Netlaw Computer Systems of Ballarat, next door to Batches. Who is Netlaw? Come in and find out today.
High-pressure hot water is the only way to go for commercial and domestic use. Paths, driveways, weatherboards before painting, removal of grease, oil and dirt. Also demonstrations available and free quotes in the viewing area. P&M Carapalas Hot Water Cleaners, the only way to go.
This program was brought to you by the new Nissan Pulsar.
Nothing compares to you.
To the weather news now, and of the capitals, only Melbourne reported any rain today. Temperatures range from 18 in Adelaide to 32 in Darwin. The satellite picture shows a band of cloud over southern New South Wales, Victoria and Tasmania. And the synoptic chart shows a cold front moving through Victoria. There's a high moving across the Bight and into the Tasman. If you are flying interstate tomorrow, Adelaide can expect a shower or two. Hobart will have light showers. Brisbane a possible storm. Elsewhere should be fine. On Saturday, it will be Sydney's turn for a shower or two. All the other capitals will be fine, 18 degrees in Melbourne for Derby Day. Looking further ahead to Sunday, and those showers will remain in Sydney. Brisbane will also have a few showers, and the other capitals will be fine. And just before we go, the Army's bearer party, which will bring home Australia's unknown soldier from France, has left for Europe. The 20-member team held a special parade at Sydney's Randwick Barracks just hours before flying out of Sydney.
God, a turn!
The unknown soldier's remains will be buried at the War Memorial in Canberra to mark its 75th anniversary on November the 11th. And that's the 10 Eyewitness News for now. I'll be back tomorrow night with more, so I'll see you then. I'm Anne Forward. Good night.
On Sports Tonight, Thursday, October 28. A Sub-Zero switch, the Melbourne Cup champ in a slow Dalgety build-up, while Naturalism prepares for a winning farewell. Maradona speaks and everybody listens, while on the Socceroos side, Bosnich arrives with just 3 days till the big game. The kids getting straight A's in and out of the classroom with one thing in mind.
Now that we've got the Olympics in Sydney, I want the gold medal.
And the Rugby League targets Melbourne in the biggest way possible. Hello everyone, welcome. Also in sports tonight, cricket, the Golden Bear at the Laguna Skins, superbikes and plenty more. But first, his Aston Villa coach has called him the best goalkeeper in the world. But our Mark Bosnich has received just as much bad press recently as good. Returning to Sydney late tonight, Bosnich is ready to resume his international career not long after he retired. Sports Tonight's Frank Pangallo is with him.
Yes, Tim, it's a very tired Mark Bosnich. It's just got off the plane from England. And he's joined us right now. Mark, long trip, and it's been a pretty hectic schedule for you over the last couple of weeks. Do you think you'll recover in time?
Yeah, of course I will. I'm young, look after myself very well, and it should be okay. I get a bit of mum's cooking down me when I get home now, and I should be okay.
Well, you must be pleased with your own form. You had a blinder against Sunderland midweek.
Yeah, but I'd rather it would have been against Argentina on Sunday. That's in the past now, and you know, Argentina's on my mind now.
We're obviously looking forward to that game. What about, obviously got a point to prove as well after all the criticism of your retirement?
No, I've got nothing to prove to nobody in the world except for my family, that's all. I've done enough for myself and that so far, and I've got nothing to prove to nobody. I'm just here just to show people that I'm not, you know, what a lot of people are talking about me being a mercenary and so forth. I'm here to play for my country, and for me that's the greatest honour in football. Unfortunately, what happened in the past has happened. That's water under the bridge now, and I just hope we can all pull together and forget about what's happened and look to get us towards the World Cup.
Fantastic. Well, good luck to you again on Sunday against Argentina, Mark. Well, there you have it, Tim. As you can see, Mark Bosnich, he's being surrounded by his family and well-wishers here. He'll be carrying the hopes of Australia on his young but very able shoulders. And as you can see, he's a rather towering figure. So you know what Diego Maradona will be up against.
I was going to take a sleeping tablet.
Yeah, great to have him back. And the Socceroos begin the final leg of their quest to make the World Cup in 1994 in just 3 days, of course. The man they'll have to stop, and the man everyone's listening to, Diego Maradona. And Frank joined a throng of media to find out more about the legend.
The media circus struck the motherlode today. Beleaguered Argentine coach Alfio Coco Basile and the petulant megastar Diego Maradona at their disposal, with the Australians almost relegated to the role of curious onlookers. But Argentina's greatest soccer son is definitely one who communicates best with his feet. Did he learn anything from his 15-month ban for cocaine use?
No, I didn't learn much. I had to abide by the rules.
But some curt advice for youngsters.
They should listen to their father.
And he's cocksure of celebrating his 33rd birthday with a win over the Aussies.
We'll be doing everything we can to spoil his hopes. We're just as determined to get to America as they are.
And as for the best goal he's scored, against England in Mexico in 1986. No, not that one. The second one. Australia's strategy is firmly focused on the little man who's never looked better.
No, we've got to win. We've got to go away. Hopefully I'll win and keep Argentina from scoring. Diego, he can kill any team on his own, so I've got to really set a special plan to stop him.
Both coaches expect to finalise their starting 11 on Sunday morning.
Trainer Lee Friedman will take Sub-Zero on a different path into this year's Melbourne Cup than last year's successful route. Sub-Zero will slog it out in the Dalgety rather than the McKinnon Stakes as the grey tries to become the 4th horse to win the great race back-to-back.
The north wind was howling as dawn broke over Flemington this morning, and consequently the track work times were outstanding. One of the early gallopers was Tennessee Jack, which needs to run 1st or 2nd in the Dalgety to qualify for the Cup. His work was the best he's turned in during this preparation, despite losing both hind plates.
It made the gallop even more. He lost 2 hind shoes, and to get a traction and a grip with the shoes missing, it's quite an effort.
Notwithstanding is in the same boat as his stablemate, and his work was leisurely but nonetheless pleasing. To the surprise of a few, Veandercross only worked over 1,000 metres this morning, and whilst his time was nothing startling, the great horse looks back to peak fitness. Once more, Sub-Zero did everything asked of him by race jockey Greg Hall, and after consultation with trainer Lee Friedman, it was decided to opt for the Dalgety rather than the McKinnon Stakes as his final hit out for the Cup. Trainer Laurie Laxon put the blinkers on Cavalieri, something he tried to do last year but was turned down. And the big striding chestnut moved nicely on the wood chip under jockey Greg Childs. 2 of the top Derby hopes had their final trials. Mahogany moving impressively, and his relaxed style should help him get the 2,500 metres.
I think he will. He's a very relaxed horse, and I think he'll really appreciate Flemington too.
Is Zaremba the hardest to beat?
Well, yeah, I mean, his win was okay the other day, and he's a good, strong stayer. He ran 2nd in the Champion Stakes, so he's going to be right there. Friedman
kept a close eye on Zaremba's work, a gallop that pleased jockey Shane Dye, who said the horse will probably be ridden back in the field.
Yeah, they go very, very fast to the first turn, and he's got no early pace, even though he normally leads or races there, but he just takes that furlong, 200 metres to get going.
The Derby is, of course, just one in a day of highlights on Saturday. The Weight for Age McKinnon Stakes looks like being a beauty, and it could very well be naturalism's last start in Australia.
The 5-year-old moved extremely well on the steeple grass in preparation for his possible swan song in this country.
I'm not saying it definitely will be, but there is that scenario that if he runs here and then goes to Japan and does really well over there, that you know, he could even stay there.
Meanwhile at Sandown, Irish galloper Vintage Crop galloped over 2,400 metres, and on the outside here was unextended at the completion of his work. Trainer Dermot Weld, who arrived last night, was pleased with the effort, and the 7-year-old will have his first look at Flemington when he runs in the Melbourne Cup.
And the Horse of the Year is working hard this week, but his connections and trainer were there as Veandercross was awarded the Horse of the Year honours, and Pete Donegan's at the party.
Well, Tim, we've had a marvellous night tonight, and it's all in honour of one great racehorse in Veandercross, and his trainer John Wheeler is with me now. John, congratulations. It must be a great thrill in honour like this.
Thanks very much, Peter. Oh, yeah, it's marvellous. It's marvellous to have the opportunity to train a great horse, yeah.
Well, I suppose there's one other thrill you wouldn't mind, this little trophy that's sitting beside us at the moment. McKinnon Stakes on Saturday, and then you'll make up your mind about the Melbourne Cup?
No, we'll be a definite starter in the Melbourne Cup if he goes well on Saturday, which I expect him to do.
His work this morning, he only worked over 1,000 metres. Was that a bit of a change of plans?
No, not really. He's had a fair bit of racing. He's pretty fit now, and I thought that was all he needed, really, and he'll be pretty well honed for Saturday and on to Tuesday, hopefully.
Was it an agonising choice coming up with a jockey because so many people were queuing up for the ride?
Yeah, it was pretty difficult. I didn't have to make the final decision, the owners did, and you know, I'm happy with Jimmy Walker. He's ridden the horse very well at home, and he's ridden the horse well here too, and we'll see what happens on Saturday.
Finally, were you disappointed the invitation didn't come from Japan?
Oh, yes, I wasn't really disappointed. I think the selections that they made were correct at the present time. I was disappointed in their timing. I thought they could have waited till after McKinnon. They had told us they'd wait till after the Melbourne Cup. It just seems to be that we're thwarted of any chance, and I believe that they will have egg on their face after Saturday and Tuesday.
Well, good luck for Saturday, especially good luck for Tuesday after his great run last year. He's got a lot of admirers. He's a great horse.
Thank you, Peter.
Thanks very much to John Wheeler, the trainer of the champion, Veandercross, the horse of the year. Who knows, he might be the Melbourne Cup winner come Tuesday. Tim, I'll look forward to seeing you for our big Derby Day coverage on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll be down there tomorrow. Never write off a champion, and Big Vandy certainly is one. As the Spring Carnival rolls on, one of Australia's top jockeys is fighting to save his career. Wayne Harris is in the Prince of Wales Hospital suffering blood poisoning. Harris pricked his finger on a girth strap at the weekend. What luck. He had an operation on Sunday, but that failed to kill the infection. Doctors say he'll need more surgery early next week. His next big ride was to have been in Singapore at an invitational meeting. That's been cancelled, of course, and his career at this point in time on hold. Still to come on Sports Tonight, the Tigers hit Perth with the town and history against them. Also cricket, golf, cycling, plenty more. Don't go to bed just yet.
Tonight's viewing is proudly brought to you by BP. On the move.
Right now, when you purchase a pack of BP Visco High Performance Engine Oil, we'll give you the chance to win the same car that won the James Hardy 12-hour at Bathurst. The fantastic twin-turbo Mazda RX-7. But on second thoughts, maybe we should give you the less conspicuous version. Ah. That's better. Win a Mazda RX-7 with BP Visco. Enter now!
A TAB Cup Pack is the easiest way to win on the big races. Pick up a special Cup Pack ticket, pick 3 horses and you can win big. The TAB Cup Pack. You've got to be in it to win it.
At Jacka, Holden, Maryborough, there's a total commitment to you. They believe in giving you more of what you want, with pride in their quality and service that's hard to find anywhere else, which in turn allows you perfect peace of mind. Jacka's range of vehicles is complete, and everything else around is designed to provide, like their vehicles, only the very best. They really do deliver. Jacka, Holden, Maryborough.
Introducing WIMMERA Auto Colour, your convenient auto paint and body repair distribution centre. WIMMERA Auto Colour is the WIMMERA's distributor of the Dulux range of automotive paints. They also stock a large range of body moulding, pinstripes and body repair equipment. Best of all, WIMMERA Auto Colour will expertly match any paint to your car's colour. With over 25 years experience in the auto colour industry, you can rely on Mick and Alan from WIMMERA Auto Colour in the Autobahn Complex, 81 Firebrace Street, Horsham.
The Melbourne Tigers have arrived in Perth for Game 2 of the NBL Grand Final Series, 1 up, but with the city and history against them. Not only have they never won on the Wildcats' turf, but the locals have only dropped 1 home game all year.
It was business as usual today for James Crawford. 1 game down, the Cats may be on the brink, but JC, who first took a tilt at the title with Geelong in 1982, says Perth are ready.
It is pressure, but because we went through that in the quarterfinals and the semis, I think it's something we have adjusted to.
While Melbourne have the gaze factor, Perth have the fans factor. Crawford believes that and the team's strength of character will see them through.
Being here at home, we got a very successful record, only losing one game throughout the year. I think it's just something that I think we are a better team. I definitely feel that we could win on Friday.
Meantime, the confident Melbourne Tigers arrived in Perth this afternoon on a mission to wrap up the championship in Game 2.
History says we have trouble here in Perth, but the fellas all have a very positive attitude, and I think that we have as good a chance as they do.
Andrew Gaze is far from hampered by a hamstring, while Mark Bradkey believes the second game will be even more physical.
I think they thought that we came out rather physical, but I don't believe we did. It's just what we played against the Magic. So we'll be playing the same way, but I dare say they'll be lifting their intensity as well.
Do you ever have an off night?
An off night? We all have off nights. Everyone has their ups and downs, and hopefully it won't be an off night tomorrow night.
An unbeaten century from Paul Nobes has put South Australia within reach of first innings points in the Shield match against Victoria. The Vicks declared at 9 for 357, but in reply, South Australia won for 286. Nobes batted for more than 5 hours to remain unbeaten on 141, sharing a double century partnership with James Brayshaw. He's not out 96. South Australia now just 71 runs behind the Vicks, first innings total. Great batting. The rich Australian skins golf has moved. Laguna Keys Resort in the Whitsundays is the new home of the event, but organisers have also announced another big draw card. Along with Greg Norman, Ian Baker-Finch and Nick Price, the Golden Bear, Jack Nicklaus, looks likely to make up the four.
This is the magnificent Turtle Point Golf Course at Laguna Keys on the shores of Repulsed Bay in the Whitsundays. Already, $265 million has been spent on the resort, which opened last December. The golf course was designed by David Graham and his partner Gary Panks and is as spectacular as the surrounding environment. Heading the foursome for next February's Skins game is Greg Norman. It's the only tournament he'll play in Queensland this season. Also confirmed today was Zimbabwe's wizard Nick Price, a big winner in last year's Skins at Sanctuary Cove. Tournament organisers are desperately hoping that the legendary Jack Nicklaus will join his good friend and Florida neighbour Greg Norman and Price, with Ian Baker-Finch making up the field of four.
We want the best possible field for the Australian Skins game, and we'd be delighted if we could have Jack Nicklaus, obviously, but come December, I'm sure you'll all get to read about it, particularly if it's Jack.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad four-ball, would it? Still plenty to come on Sports Tonight. Cycling from Hawaii, the Rugby League going after the MCG, and the new Wollongong whiz comes back to the field, Troy Corser. Stripped of his Phillip Island points, now the Superbike battle will be decided at Eastern Creek.
They're racing. First out was Valeur. Winfrey's begun quite nicely, and Red Livorno got away quickly.
Come October and November, Victoria really comes alive.
The Melbourne Cup favourite ahead in front of Valeur.
This year, let Victoria's Spring Racing Carnival go to your head. Donald Cup, Friday, October 29th.
Bye, Chucky, darling. Bye. Wait, goodbye. Bye. Now, Wendy, I want to talk to you about the advertising. Now, we're doing okay, but Bill, the accountant, thinks that we should tighten our belt. So I thought that maybe we should drop back to one ad for the year. The Breeders' Journal or the Dog Society magazines. Then there's the local rag. Of course, everyone knows us around here anyway.
That's true.
What would you do?
Well, I'd go for the one that works.
Why heat the outside of a kettle to boil water when you can use a fast, efficient electric element to do the same job? The same applies to your hot water system. Electric hot water systems heat water directly, cheaply and more efficiently than other systems. And daytime off-peak reheating means you'll always have steaming hot water. And electric hot water systems have a longer life than the average gas unit. They're easily installed anywhere, and you'll get cash rebates of up to $140 on your purchase. So make your choice electric and ring 008 134 866 for more details.
Monaghan's Pharmacy is an exciting pharmacy to visit, where a wonderful world of health, beauty and fragrance is at your fingertips. Treat yourself to a facial or try an exciting new fragrance. Check out the latest discoveries in skincare and all new season's colours. You can even call in for asthma pump testing and advice. So many wonderful things at Monaghan's, now open 9 till 9 with parking so easy. Monaghan's Pharmacy, always open for you and your family 7 days a week.
Rugby League's quest for a national profile continues next year, playing the second State of Origin match in the heart of Aussie rules territory, the Melbourne Cricket Ground. The nation's top sporting venue will host league showpiece with the blessing of both the Victorian Cricket Association and the AFL, the MCG's major tenants, of course. Blues fans won't be happy, but the league is confident of attracting a minimum crowd of 50,000, which would be a record for Origin matches.
When you look at our arena, it holds 42,000. Brisbane, we've got a ground that holds 60. We're going to top that.
The game will be on Wednesday night, the 8th of June next year. New caps Alistair Murdoch and Matt Burke have been named in the Wallaby lineup for the first test against the French. Burke replaces veteran Marty Roebuck at fullback, while Murdoch takes Damien Smith's place on the wing. Number 8 Tim Gavin still sporting 14 stitches, but he is certain to play. All the action, of course, live and exclusively to 10. Check your local guide for the times. Swiss cycling star Tony Rominger is finding Australian roads harder to conquer than the European conditions. Rominger failed to complete Melbourne's Rialto to Mount Buller challenge, won by the German champion Udo Bolz for the second time.
His first time in Australia, Swiss champ Tony Rominger familiarised himself with some Aussie wildlife before heading off in the 250 kilometres to Mount Buller. With the race controlled to Eltham, cyclists had the chance to admire the scenery. But the first sprint up Melba Highway saw Sun Tour stage winner David McFarlane turn up the heat. While coming into Yea, school children cheered the cyclists as they began to break up at the second sprint stage. The breakaway included race favourites Udo Bolz and Herald Sun Tour